This is homework 17 for Mr. Reed's Year 11 Maths group. It's due on Thursday. Remember, we'll do a test every Friday now, so we'll collect homework on a Thursday. We'll look at question 1. Now, this is actually a topic that we are studying in class on Monday. I think it has been mentioned in Year 10, but it's certainly a while since I've explained this to you. So we're going to be talking about capture and release in class this week, but here's a homework question on it. And it goes like this, actually. You can estimate the number of fish in a lake by doing a simple experiment. I want you to imagine this scenario. A scientist initially captures 40 random fish and puts a harmless red dye on each of the fish and throws them back. Now, if that's all you did, you wouldn't be able to estimate the number of fish in the lake. It's this second bit that's clever. The next day, the same scientist captures 20 random fish, and it just happens to be that 2 of them have the red dye on them. So using the proportion information from this part B and the initial number of fish caught in part A, you can work out a very good estimate for the number of fish in the lake. There is one little challenge here that you could add to this question. You could write down any assumptions that you've made whilst answering that question. There are a number of assumptions. Actually, I can think of 2 or 3. So write down any assumptions you think are important in justifying this estimate. That's an extra challenge. Question 2. I've written a little hint here. You're supposed to not use a calculator and try and calculate these using full working out, and it does say show your working. I've actually shown some working here for part B, so it's up to you to continue that level of working out on each of the questions. Please don't just type them into your calculator, that's not what that question's about. So if we move on to question 3. Question 3, we've got some vectors that are expressed as arrows at the moment on the square paper, and this is meant to be half a square up there, and that's halfway down that square. You've got to write them as column vectors. In part 4, you're going to use these same vectors from above to do a little bit of vector addition and subtraction. Just take care with your signs. It's easy to go wrong there if you're not concentrating. We're going to question 5. This is the same diagram as a question from last week's homework, but it isn't the same question, and that's because I've changed this ratio here. So the technique will be the same as last week, but the numbers will be different. Some people in the class are still saying they can't do ratio vectors questions, so we'll keep practicing that till we get there. Question 6, we've got simply factorise this. Try and take out any factor that you can spot there. That will help you. That technique is important on the next question. So if we look at question 7. Question 7, you've got to explain why these 2 are parallel, and that will involve factorisation. Think about it. Now question 8 is just a couple of random topics from earlier this year. We've got finding the size of that angle in that right angle triangle, and then finding the length over here in this non-right angle triangle using 2 different trigonometry techniques. We move on to question 9. We've got a well-known shape there. Find the area. Concentrate on that though. When you do find the area, you will have to round it appropriately, 1 significant figure. So using a formula there, and we've got a trigonometry formula for the area of a non-right angle triangle that you'll need to remember. And the last question, question 10, it does say justify your answer with calculations here. So you've got to decide whether or not this 12.5cm pencil fits inside a rectangular pencil box of some kind. So you assume it lays flat on the base of the box. Will it fit in? Possibly fits in diagonally. It's up to you to explain whether it does or doesn't fit in with an appropriate calculation. So that's it. As usual, you need to come and see me if you are stuck, and I'll give you help at break time.